So, good morning, students. In last class, we have discussed the topic that is an ecosystem, where here the interaction of between biotic as well as an abiotic components, and also we have studied the study of a pond ecosystem reveals the components are seen in the functions as a unit of the structures. So, in this an ecosystem will having the four components are presenting. First one is productivity, second one is second one is decomposition, and the third one is energy flow, and lastly that is the nutrient cycles. So, these are the four components where we are going to discussing in this topic. So, in this first topic is the first one is the means there are four components in ecosystem. So, here the first one is productivity, and second one is the decomposition, and third one is energy flow, and the fourth one is the nutrient cycles. So, these are the four components where they are taken place, they are presenting in the ecosystem, where here the interaction is taken place in an ecosystem, where ecosystem is the structural and functional units of the ecology or the biosphere. So, here now coming to the first one, that is a productivity. So, here what is a productivity? Here what is the productivity? It means the biomass, the organic, the biomass or organic mass or organic matter present in an each, that is present in an each tropical level, in each tropical level in an area at a particular time. At a particular time, we can call this as a bio, that is we can call as a productivity, that is biomass. Biomass means the amount of the organic matter or the amount of food materials which are present in our body that are helpful for the development. So, that is called as the biomass or the weight of an organism. So, here the organic matter that is present in each tropical levels. So, here they are having an each tropical level, that means from a producers to the consumers. Here the energy is transferring from each step. The food is that biomass is transferring, or organic matter is transfer from one tropical level to the another tropical level. So, such at any area, that means at an area at what time the amount of biomass is present in an organism, here we can take place as a productivity. So, here it will be taken place, that means it is taken place in the weight. If it is taken place in the form of a weight, here a grams per meter square per here it is taken place in the form of the weight. If it is taken place in the form of an energy, it is in the form of an energy. If it is taken place here a kilocalories per meter square per, and here it is carried, that is energy will be taken place in this and that is energy in the form of, in the terms of energy, it is taken place in the form of kilocalories per meter square per year. If it is in the form of a weight, here a grams, grams per meter square per year, it is taken place in an organisms. And also here we have taken place that is the rate of synthesis or biomass produced at each tropical area in a given period of a time. Here it is at a given period of time, at a particular time, at an area at a particular time or given period of time. Here what is the amount of the biomass is presenting, so that at a particular time, here what is the amount of, that means at a particular time at an area, here what is the biomass is presenting. Here we can taken place at a particular time, the amount of biomass is taken place, we can call as the productivity. And here the studying of the productivity, here the studying of the productivity, the study of the production of biomass by the living organisms, that means the study of productivity, study of productivity of an biomass of an organism, biomass of an organism is called as the productivity ecology, is called as the productivity ecology. So here we can call this as a productivity and ecology we can taken place. So that productivity of an ecosystem, that is the studying of productivity of biomass of an organism, we can call as productivity ecology. And the productivity of an ecosystem is taken place in the form of two structures. One is the productivity of an ecosystem, the productivity of an ecosystem. The productivity of an ecosystem is classified into two types. One is primary productivity, and second one is the secondary productivity. So here it is classified, that means based on an ecosystem, that is a productivity of an ecosystem, the productivity is classified into two types. One is the primary productivity and the second one is the secondary productivity. So here the primary productivity. So here what is the primary productivity means, here it refers the amount of organic matter or biomass produced at producer level during a period of a time. That means at a producer levels, here if you see in here, if you take coming to the first one, primary productivity. First one is the primary productivity. Here the amount of the amount of biomass or organic matter present in an producer level at a period of a time, then it is called as a primary productivity. That means the amount of biomass or organic matter which is present in the producer level. Here producer means here they prepare their own food materials. Producers are the bottom. These are the producers are present at the bottom of an tropical level, and also here they are the producers means they prepare their own food materials by the process of the photosynthesis. With the help of the photosynthesis, they can prepare their own food materials. So that preparing of their own food materials by the process of photosynthesis at a particular time, that amount of biomass is synthesizing at each, that is in a producer level, then we can call this as a primary productivity. This primary productivity will differ from different organisms. That is in producers levels or low, they differ. That means in producer level, they are different to different species, are different to different producers. That means the availability of the sunlight, that is the sun radiation. So here the sun radiation, the sun radiation, and also the light temperature, and also the moisture. These are the factors, etc. These are the factors which helpful for the affecting the rate of the productivity in an plants. So that here these factors will affect in, that means the rate of sunlight, the temperature, and the light, that is light radiation, that is radiation or light same only. There is light, temperature, moisture, and soil type of the soil, minerals obtaining. So here these are the factors which helpful for the organisms to produce the amount of the energy. So due to this, what happens here, that plants, that means at producer levels only, the productivity will differ from one producer to the another producer, that will be varies from one to the another. And also here we know that here that will be taken place that the photosynthetic capacity of the producers will magnify the productivity at different ecosystems. That is temperature, soil moisture, that will be taken place. Already we have said each tropical level, that means based on the factors, it will affect from different producers level, from one producer to the another producer in an ecosystem. And these primary productivity is classified into two types. Here classified into two types. These are classified into two types. It is classified into two types. One is the gross primary productivity, and second one is the net primary productivity. So that is here we can call that as the gross, that is gross primary productivity, as well as the primary, that is net primary productivity. So here gross primary productivity means the amount of food produced by the producers per unit area, per unit time. Here this is we can call that as a gross primary productivity. That means the amount of food materials. That means gross primary productivity means the amount of food materials or biomass which is synthesized by an organism at a particular time. That is per unit area, per unit time. That is per unit area, per unit time. Here how much of food is synthesized by the producers. So by the food produced by the producers, that will be due to the presence of sunlight synthesizing, where here some amount of energy. Here gross primary productivity. Gross primary productivity means the amount of biomass, the amount of biomass produced by the producers at an unit area, at unit time, that is called as the gross primary productivity. That means here the utilization of the photosynthesis, that is the radiant energy, the light energy is converted into a chemical energy in the form of the sugars. That means this is converted in the form of sugars. These are synthesizing the food materials in the form of sugars. That how much of the biomass is produced at a unit area, at unit time, at a particular period of time, how much of biomass is produced, then this is called as a gross primary productivity. It is called as a gross primary productivity. And also here some amount of food materials are synthesized by the chemosynthesis also, the chemosynthesis. That means with the help of the chemicals. For example, if it taken place a bacterial cells, the bacterial cells will synthesize the food materials with the help of chemicals. If the organism can able to synthesize the food materials with the help of chemicals, then such type of process we can call as a chemosynthesis. So with some amount of energy or biomass in bacterial cells, they can able to synthesize the amount of biomass also in the form of a gross primary productivity. And we can see in the form either in the oceans or in the form of phytoplanktons, or we can take place and plants, herbs, shrubs, trees, as well as we can take place in the marine forms also. Here these are the various types of organisms, that is the bacteria, that is cyanobacteria, and also these organisms, that is plants, ocean plants, that all are synthesized. That amount of biomass which is synthesizing, we can call that as a gross primary productivity. Next, coming to the net primary productivity. Here net primary productivity means the amount of biomass utilized by the plants, by the producers for their metabolical activities. That is during respiration, some amount of energy or the biomass is utilized for their energy, for their metabolical activities. Then the remaining of the biomass which is left over, we can call as the net primary productivity. So here the net primary productivity means the amount of biomass left after respiration, the amount of the amount of biomass left after respiration. That means the metabolical activities, after metabolical activities, some amount of energy or some amount of biomass which is produced, that is utilized for the development, that is for metabolical and activities that are reducing, then we can call that as a net primary productivity. So here net primary productivity, NPP, is equal to GPP minus the respiration. After the gross primary means the amount of biomass produced in producers at an area at a particular time, at a unit time, that is synthesized after reducing of respiration, minus respiration. That means after using of metabolical activities, the amount of biomass is presenting an level that is in producers levels, then we can call as the net primary productivity. So this is where here the primary productivity is classified into two types, that is gross primary productivity as well as the net primary productivity. Next, coming to the second one. So here the net that is net primary productivity in plants. That net primary productivity in plants, the total is overall it is produced. That means annually the net primary productivity which is produced by the plants, that is 170 millions. Here 170 millions of a net primary productivity NPP is produced for every by the producers. That is here we can able to produce, that is the amount which is produced, the landforms, that is the landforms, that is landforms will produce 65 percentage, where that is 65 percentage is produced, that is 115 millions tons of the biomass, 115 millions biomass is produced for every year by the net by the producers. That is 65 percentage is produced. That is the landforms are occupies only a 35 percentage, it is occupied in the earth's surface. That is on the earth's surface, here the land is occupies. That land contributes 68 percentage, 115 million tons, and ocean contribution is 70 percentage of surfaces are contributed. That is here millions 150 tons is of the biomass is produced. The landform, that is 65. That is total it is occupied the 30 percentage. From 30 percentage of landforms, here we are getting 65 percentage of the biomass is produced, that is in the form of 115 million tons is produced. But in oceans, here the 70 percentage they are occupied, and here they produce only a 35 percentage only they are produced, the landforms, that is the grass, the net primary productivity, that is 55 million tons. A million tons only can able to produce, that is 35 percentage is produced, which is occupied by the 70 percentage of the oceans. That is, water is occupied 70%. Out of this 70%, here only 35% of NPP is produced, that is 55 million tons of the productivity is produced. But in landforms, it is occupied only a 30%. Out of 30%, here we are able to getting 65% of the net primary productivity is produced, that is 115 million tons is produced. Total we are getting 170 million tons of the NPP is produced for every year. So this is where it is called as a primary, that is a primary productivity. Next, second one is the secondary productivity. Second one is secondary productivity. Secondary productivity. So here, what is this secondary productivity? Means the amount of biomass, the amount of biomass present in consumer level, in a consumer level, then that means the amount of biomass present in a consumer level in an unit area or unit at time, that is in an unit area and unit time, then it is called as the secondary productivity. That means after amount, what is the net problem? That means after respiration, the amount which is present in the producers, that is transmitted to the another tropical level. That means from producers that is transferred to the consumer level. So the transferring of consumer level, the biomass is transferring to the consumer, each consumer level. That means at consumer level, that is the transferring, that is from consumers means primary, secondary and tertiary. That means from producers it is the transfer to the primary, from primary it is the transfer to the secondary, from secondary it is the transfer to the tertiary. So that is the biomass which is left by the producers to the consumer level, it is transferring, we can call as the secondary productivity. Here the secondary productivity also will be taken place, the amount of, that is we can classify, that is secondary gross productivity, secondary gross productivity, and second one is the secondary net productivity, secondary net productivity. So here the gross primary product means the amount of the respiration, that means the amount of biomass which is presenting in a consumer level. At each consumer level, the amount of biomass is presenting, then that means from producers after respiration, what is the amount of for their metabolic activities in producers, the amount of biomass left after utilizing that respiration or metabolic activities, what is the amount of left in producer level, that is transferred to the consumer level. So that level, that productivity which is transferring, we can call as a gross primary product. The amount of, it is the amount of biomass left, that is biomass transfer from producers after respiration, respiration, that is called as the secondary productivity, and that is secondary gross productivity. Next, secondary net productivity. Here secondary net productivity means it is amount of that we can second place secondary net productivity. Secondary net productivity is equal to the secondary is equal to the secondary gross productivity minus the fecal matter. That means after digestion of here, what is the digestion is taken place, that amount which is taken place from producers, that is digested. After digestion, here what is the amount of biomass is presenting in a secondary productivity, that is called as secondary productivity. That means the amount of biomass which is taken place from producers and is eaten by the consumers and it is digested, that amount is called as the secondary gross productivity. After the digested, what is a fecal matter is produced, leftover the fecal matter. The leftover the fecal matter, that is secondary from gross productivity, that is secondary gross productivity minus fecal matter, we can call as a net, that is secondary net productivity. This is where we can take in place the two type of productivity, that is one is the primary productivity which is taken place in a producer level, and the secondary productivity which is taken place in the consumer levels. So here the total here gross productivity means that is produced, that is eaten by the producers and is digested. After digestion, what is the amount is presenting, we can call as gross productivity, and after the removing of fecal matters, what is the amount of biomass is presenting in the consumer level, that is called as a secondary net productivity. That is yes, secondary gross productivity minus fecal matter, we can call as a secondary net primary productivity. That is secondary net productivity we can call. So this is the two type of productivity. The primary productivity is present in producers levels, and the secondary productivity is produced that is present in consumer levels. Now coming to the second one, that is a decomposition. So here the second one that we can call as a decomposition. So here decomposition means the breaking down of complex organic matter into a simple inorganic substances. So here the second one, what is the second one is a decomposition. Decomposition. So here what is the decomposition means the breaking down of the organic substances into simple inorganic substances by the detritus and organisms, then we can call that as a decomposition. So here the decomposition, the decaying, it is also called as a decay or a detritus. We can use that means what is decomposition means it is can be defined as complex organic substances are converted. It can be defined as the complex breaking down of complex organic substances into organic substances into simple inorganic the substances. So here this process we can call as a decomposition. Here in the decomposition, plants and animals, and these plants and animals are acts upon that means dead bodies of plants and animals they act upon the bacteria as well as the fungi organisms. That organisms which are acting upon that, they are called as detritus organisms. Detrivorous organisms. Detrivorous organisms means the organisms which are acting upon dead organisms. The organisms which acts on dead bodies, dead of plants and animals. So here the invertebrate organisms will act upon that one. The organisms which are called them as detrivorous and organisms, and the substances we can call as detritus. And the substances which is produced, that simple we can call as detritus. Detritus means the substances which are produced from the, that means raw material of the decomposition, and the organisms are acting upon the detritus organisms will act upon the decomposition on the dead bodies. We are able to produce detritus. It is we can call that as detritus means it is which is a raw material for the decomposition. We can call as the detritus. Detritus means it is the decomposition of an organisms. That is the raw materials of detritus means the raw materials of a decomposition. Then it is called as the detritus. Here the detritus is also called, decomposition is also called as the decay, or we can call that as the putrefaction. That means decomposition we can say as decay or putrefaction. So here putrefaction is taken place by the bacterial invertebrates, by the bacterial cells, bacteria, fungi, and also some invertebrate organisms. Invertebrates organisms that will be acts upon the decaying or a putrefaction of the organisms that is taken place. So here this process, that means here this we can use the earthworms also for the decomposition. So here the earthworms also we can use for the decomposition. So here earthworms are called as the friends of the farmers. They are called as the friends of the farmers. The earthworms are called as the friends of the farmers. Why they are called as friends of the farmers means they take inorganic substances and convert into simple inorganic substances which is containing a high amount of nutrients are presenting. A complex organic matter is broken down, the complex organic matter. So here that referred as friends of the, why means they breaks the organic matter into simple inorganic matter. Here they convert the organic matter into simple inorganic matter which is in the form of a humus, that is we can call as a humus, where this humus will contains the high amount of the nutrients, the high amount of nutrients are presenting. Nutrients, where these nutrients are helpful for the absorption of the plants and helpful for the producing of and more amount of yield is produced due to this a black amorphous substance, that black amorphous substance which is produced by the decomposition of organic substance into a simple inorganic substances, that is in the form of humus. This humus will consist of the high amount of nutrients are presenting, which helpful for the growth and development of plants, where it produces a high amount of yield is produced. So yield means here crop production. Crop production is more is taken place, so that the earthworms are called as the friends of the farmers. Why they are called means they produce the yield is increased due to the producing of where they decompose the organic matter into a simple inorganic matter or simple inorganic substances which containing high amount of nutrients. So the earthworms are called as the friends of the farmers. And here there are different steps are presenting that different steps of decomposition is one is we can call as a fragmentation, and second one is called as leaching, and the third one we can call as a catabolism, and the fourth one we can call as humidification, and lastly we can call as a mineralization. So here the decomposition, the steps involved in decomposition. It is a very important question in the board exam. That is, explain what is decomposition, explain the steps involved in a decomposition. That is a 5 marks question. It is very important. So here we'll having the 5 steps. One is fragmentation of detritus. Fragmentation, that is fragmentation of detritus. Second one is leaching. Third one is a catabolism. Fourth one is the humidification. And the last one is mineralization. So these are the 5 steps where they are taken place in the decomposition. So here by the action, that is a fragmentation of a detritus, a leaching, as well as that is a catabolism, a humidification, and it is in the form of a mineralization. So here the fragmentation, first one, the fragmentation of detritus. So here by the acting upon the detritus means it is the raw material of the decomposition, we can call as that means the inorganic substances which is presenting, that is taken place by the detritus organisms are taken place, that is converting into a small fragments which is in the form of a detritus. So here that studying of a decomposition, the studying of a decomposition is called as topology. We can call that as the toponymy. So here the fragment, this is the fragmentation. Fragmentation means by acting upon, by the action of the microbials on the organic substances, by organic substances. So here it converts simple organic, that means it makes the fragmentation That means the fragmentation of the detritus will be taken place. So here by the organisms which are acting upon the detritus, that is the organisms which are acting upon the organic substances, they are called as detrivorous organisms. So in these detrivorous organisms, they digest and passes through digestive tracts of the animals. That means the fecal matter, they break down the detritus into small fragments to increase the surface area of microbial action. So here they convert the breakdown of detritus into breakdown. Here the breakdown of small substances, small detritus by the action of microbes. So here this into small fragments, So that is a breakdown of small detritus by action of microbes into small fragments which are digested by the organisms. So that process we can call as a fragmentation of a detritus, and the study of decomposition we can call as a topomy. TAPHONOMI, topomy. Here the study of a decomposition. The study of decomposition is called as toponomy. So here the study of the decomposition we can call as a toponomy. And the leaching, what is leaching means here the inorganic substances which are presenting, that means after the breakdowning, that water soluble inorganic nutrients are percolated into deeper layers of the soluble, which is in the unavailable substances, that is called as, that means water after breaking down they are entered into water soluble organic substances which is unavailable. These are in the form of the unavailable substances. So that process we can call as, that means this simple water soluble inorganic substances, which is presenting in inorganic substances, simple inorganic water soluble inorganic inorganic substances are available that are percolated into the water, percolated into deeper layers of the soil, where that are available in the form of unavailable substances. Then such process we can call as the leaching process. That means after converting these inorganic substances, it enters into deeper layers along with the water. They enters into deeper layers of the water, which is available, which is in the form of unavailable salts or unavailable substances. Then such process we can call as a leaching. And second one, a catabolism. Here the decomposers will act upon that one. So they convert complex insoluble organic substance into simple soluble the organic substances into inorganic the compounds. So this process we can call as the catabolism. So here what happens, what is catabolism means, here the converting of, that means the detritus organisms which are presenting, they taken place, they converted converted organic substances into simple inorganic these substances where it is food materials, that is we can take place as the organic substances are converted into simple inorganic substances by the decomposers. So such process we can call as a catabolism. That means digestion of food materials, that is converting organic substances are converted into simple inorganic substances by the decomposers where they are taking as food materials and they are immobilized in conditions. Then such condition we can call as a catabolism. And humanification, here when the decomposition is forming here a dark amorphous, the process of formation of humus, that means the dark amorphous solutions are forming, that is here the formation of humus is called as a humanification, where here humus, it is, what is humus means a dark amorphous substances where there are inorganic substances are presenting, that inorganic substances which are presenting we can call them as a humanification. So here humus will containing the high amount of nutrient values, that is it is a process of a detritus convert into dark colored amorphous substances called as a humus into the soil. So here will consist of either acidic humus or it may containing the alkaline humus. That alkyl humus is found in grasslands and deciduous forest, and the acidic humus is produced in a coniferous forest. These are presenting where they decomposed by the bacteria and fungals by undergoing a decomposition. So here it is a colloidal nature and serves as a reservoirs of the nutrients. So here a humanification humus will be a reservoir of nutrients. Here it is a reservoir, that means high amount of nutrients are presenting in the humus, where it is a dark amorphous substances we can call as a humus. Here acid as well as alkaline humus is presenting. And lastly, that is a mineralization. Mineralization means these are converted, it is the formation of minerals. So here it is converting, that means here the formation of mineralization means formation of minerals. Minerals means that is from organic it is converted into simple inorganic substances where some soluble substance, inorganic substance are present in the soil, and remaining elements which are presenting that are escaped into the environment. Again these are recycling, that means that are absorbed by the plants and animals. Again when they are decomposed, again that are replaced into the atmosphere. So here a recycling of a process will be taken place in the mineralization. So these are the 5 steps where that is the steps involved in a decomposition, that is a fragmentation of detritus, a leaching, a catabolism, humanification as well as a mineralization. And also here will consisting the factors affecting the rate of the decomposition. Here for decomposition it is required, oxygen is required, and also the anaerobic conditions slows down the rate of a decomposition, and also the temperature, the soil moisture, the chemical quality of detritus that regulates the rate of decomposition and detritus of the soil. When temperature is more, the process of moist condition, here humus resulting in the fast growth of microbial, which helpful for the rapid implementation. That is when that means here humus the temperature is more, here the moisture is less, means here decomposition is rate of decomposition is more is taken place. If it is in a humidity condition and moisture is also more is presenting, the rate of decomposition is also a very less in a conditions. That is less in a conditions. So that here that is taken place in the deserts, the soil remains dry for long time. So decomposition, rate of decomposition is also a very low, where if the temperature area remains high, even the lignin and chitin, the rate of lignin and chitin, your decomposition also, rate of decomposition is very low. But if it is in rich of nitrogen and water soluble substances like sugar, shows the rate of decomposition is more is taken place. That is a normal climatic a condition, the decompose. That means if lignin and that is lignin and the chitin is presenting the substances, the rate of decomposition is also very low is condition. If it is the nitrogen or soluble, water soluble substance like sugars are presenting, the rate of decomposition also a very fast in a condition. So in general, the warm and moist environment, the decomposition is very low temperature, and also an anaerobiosis inhibits the decomposition. That means in anaerobic conditions, the rate of decomposition is inhibited, for resulting the binding up of the organic materials. That means these are the various factors. That means here the temperature is presenting more, the rate of reproduction is more. If moisture is less, here moisture is more, here the rate of decomposition is very low. If it is taken place, if oxygen is more is presenting, the rate of decomposition also will be more. That means in anaerobic conditions, conditions, the rate of decomposition is so slow. If aerobic respiration is taken place, here rate of decomposition also will be more in conditions. And also in the substance like lignin and chitin, the rate of decomposition is also very low. If a substance like nutrient, nitrogen and sugars, if the decomposition is, the rate of decomposition also will be more in conditions. These are the factors which affects the rate of the decomposition. So in next class we will discuss that is the energy flows. We will discuss in the next class.